Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a nice looking rack. I've drawn the blank. And I've got a good scoring tile in the Z. I would have franchise through an N or an E. I'm not seeing a 7 with this rack. So I'm looking for 7s or 8s. And E, always a useful tile. That gives me franchise through the N. Oh, and there is an N. Finally, here we go. Oh, and my word, look at this. There is an E as well. So I have franchise for 113. Bang! Fantastic. 2 games without a bingo. And then 113-point bingo to open the next game. Superb. Now, I've drawn the V and W. Not a great combo, but the rest of the rack is pretty good. So I should be able to play through this. I've got viewed through an I, and there is one. I have vaunted through an A, I think. And wave and waved. Could there be a bingo? I think it's unlikely. But so many floaters to choose from. It's possible I played franchise a little quick. There was a double-double lane, but I wasn't seeing anything. Now, 32 for opponent. What's best here? I certainly do want to play off V and W. And I can take out the double-double lane by doing that. Franchise takes a D, and I've got one. So, what does this score? 44 points. I'm not playing off V and W, but if I played waved, for example, 24 points, this is 20 more points. And it's not providing a huge spot. And I do have a small lead. So I'm taking out the D and S hook for franchise. I'm massively restricting the double-double lane. And N and V do have some synergy, and there are floating vowels. I'm going with this. And I draw a couple of vowels, not an E. So I don't think I'm bingoing here. But surely I can sort the rack out. I've got Vild in column 10, V-I-L-D, making all and Ned. So what else do I have? X takes a U after it. U and V is another bad combo, just like V and W. It would be great to play off both of them. 40 points for opponent. Ouch. So I can play off both of them with love. However, I'm not sure there is somewhere for that. I've got Ulva for a lowly score. 11 points, totally sorting the rack out. Fairly decent rack leave. Probably the best rack leave on offer. Coxib takes an S. But only 11 points. My lead isn't huge. There's still a blank out there. Although I'm looking to play off U and V. If there is a big enough score, I will hang on to one or the other. But I'm not seeing anything through X or B or parallel. I don't have any tiles to go in front of B. I've got the full suffix. Okay, you always feel slightly hesitant when getting such a lowly score and with such a mediocre rack leave. But I just haven't seen... Well, I haven't seen anything better, but this Z is available, and I do have an I, and both I and U can go next to the N. Nothing goes in front of Met. I'm not seeing any ZU plays. I am going with Ulva for 11. Okay, I draw an E, which is good. I have a scoring tile in the Y. Through an F, I would have identify. Look at this. The F of franchised is available. And it stays available. Fantastic. So, is there anything better? Anything with a B? I don't think so. This isn't a great rack. And Y usually goes at the end of the word with an LY ending, no L's, or an IFY ending. And that's what I have here. So identify for 66. And I see an S, which is good. And I have a 100-point lead. But opponent's scoring well, 34 for jump, 42 for baft. So a bingo from them would bring them right back into the game. And I have no scoring tiles. I've got the ubble ending. But, well, there aren't enough spaces in front of ubble to have a bingo ending with that suffix. A boller is good. That's quite nice for turning over tiles and not providing very much for opponent. Our only takes a Y. Still one to come. What about column 5? A and O can both go next to J. Opponents played grip for just 15. How good of a rack leave did they have when they played that? So, do I have anything next to jump? Do I have anything which goes next to you? Only an S. Okay, so nothing great there. This is what I'm thinking of. A boller, it stops opponent bingoing in row M, sticking an S under cocksip, or massively restricts that possibility. What can opponents stick under the A? W or Y or H? Quite a few things, and that will fork the board and score well, but at the expense of turning over 5 tiles. However, there are still 44 tiles to come, so opponent can easily afford to burn 5 tiles to score well and improve their rack. So maybe that isn't the play. O can go to the left of B, and I've got ALO, but I'm missing another O for ALU. Wow, both O and A can go to the left of X and B, but all I can see here is Allah. I can't burn the O, but this is 25 points, and wow, so many O's to come. And what was Abola? Only 18. This is 7 more points. Yeah, I feel this is a better play given my 80-point rack lead. This is pretty decent. If I can dodge the O's. And certainly there's a spot for double O next to jump, Mo and up O. I could stick an E on the end of this. Maybe I should. There's lots of E's to come. How valuable. Wow. This is a nice rack cleave. Met takes an E. The Z's gone. If I stick an E after Allah, that then doesn't take anything further. I'm restricting the cocksib's spot. I play a 7-letter play beginning with S, can't play now. I'm scoring 2 more points. And there are a lot of E's to come. I am going with this. And if opponent does play down a 3-letter play to open a triple lane, well, I'll have first dibs at it. Now, this isn't a good pick because I don't have a bingo. And I have no scoring tiles, but I do have roux parallel to jump. 22 points. Is that going to be the last E? I see. Great opponent continuing to score a lowly amount. Remaining tiles not going down fast enough. Does this N assist? I don't think so. Now, U can go next to M as well, but not many UO words. So this is what I'm thinking about. This sorts out the duplicate R, burns the O's. The retained U goes up in value as the only vowel I'm keeping, and there's only one to come, plus the Q. I could play OU and UG, but that's retaining duplicate R. So this isn't great. An alternative would be to play Bauer, if this is good. 18 points. I'm going with... Am I? What's my lead? 90 points. This will take it to 110. Well, it all depends on the draw. But if I draw one of these multiple O's, that will improve this rack. I am going with this. Great. I draw an E. I've got Hustler and a Warns, and I would have had... Well, I would have had Hustler and Coxibs if I hadn't played Ali. And Hustler and Meth is good. So I am bingoing. Fantastic. 27 points. Opponent burns an S. And look at this. Opponent has played 4 consonants, 2 consonants, 3 consonants. They played 9 consonants and no vowels. And then before that, they played jump, playing just the U. So it looks like they're really struggling for vowels. And as you can see, a lot of A's, E's, I's, and O's to come. Now, let me batter opponent by playing a bingo. Hustler for, E next to this double letter square. Is that best? What about Hustler here? Yeah, I think this is safer. Opponent could have played a W or a Y. I think it's harder to score 40-odd points. And the temptation here for opponent, if they haven't got a bingo, maybe to play down column 12, opening a triple. Well, bring it on if that is the plan. So, well, what was the point score for Hustler in column 13? 83. This is a 4 fewer points. Does Hustler have an anagram? It does. It has hurtles. Well, that doesn't play in column 13. Plus, it takes an S hook at the end. So I think this is the play. Great. All these lovely vowels. The most bingo-y. I dodged the Q. And this is occupying some space. It restricts opponent playing in row N. So 23 for opponent, and they play a vowel. What's nice about this rack is that I don't have a vowel shortage, and I've got good scoring tiles, so I lead by 150. I'm looking to score another 20 to 30 points here. And I'd quite like to play off both W and Y. Still 2 S's and a blank to come, so a play of W-E-Y. Although it looks quite nice, it takes an S, so I'm not going to do that. A Warn only takes an S. Interesting. The only T left is on my rack, so I could play Weenie, but then there is this blank to come. Wow. But I've got this big lead. Let me see what Weenie scores. Oh, well, I'm burning all my E's. It's only 22 points. Surely I can do better with W and Y. What about a play through this R of Hustler? And I'm looking for plays which begin W or Y and play off the other big scoring tile. 7 minutes on my clock. Now, what about a play? Oh, this is quite nice. Is it? Well, what options do I have here? What I noticed was witty. 38 points, that's big. Decent rack leave-ish. As you approach the end game, vowels become more valuable. However, let me count the vowels. 16 vowels out of 29 tiles, so this isn't such a good rack leave. But is there a W vowel TY play? Don't think so. What about a play beginning with W? No, not seeing it. Well, I may be swamped with vowels, but 38 points is huge. And playing through a vowel-heavy rack can be easier than playing through a consonant-heavy rack where you're really dependent on floating vowels. For example, I could play AE and AY next turn, and also parallel to Hustler. I'm going with this. Great, I draw a good scoring tile in the K, although I have 5 vowels. I think that's okay, given the K. So I am looking to score another close to 30 points. So I've got KA, 27 points, that's good. Only 20 for opponent, fantastic. They've just stuck the E after the Z. Now, where's best for this K? I do have KA, but that's not doing anything about these floaters. And it's also leaving a vowel-heavy rack. I escaped punishment last turn, but I could play KA and easily draw 2 vowels. A play of KAIE feels much better. Not seeing anywhere for that. Meth doesn't take anything I've... Ooh, what about Meth I? I think that may be good. Meth I. Now, neither G or K can go either side of the E of Hustler. Greek now takes an S. Well, maybe KA is the play. Only 2 A's, 2 E's to come. 5 minutes on my clock. What about Beak? 26 points, that's decent. It's forcing opponent into the penultimate column, which is where I like them to bingo because it gives me first shot at triple word squares. And this is playing off 1 more vowel than KA. Yeah. Now, is there anything even better? I don't think so, because these 2 vowels are the 2 duplicates that I have. I'm going with this. Great, I draw the S. But 2 more vowels. And I'm dodging all these O's. And opponent isn't playing them. And they only played off 1 tile last turn. Okay, they have got an O now. But look at this, only 19 points. Fantastic. I've got a great lead, 170 points. Only 12 tiles in the bag. Even if I've been back-to-back bingos, I'm in good shape. So, just thinking about playing airy. It doesn't take anything. It takes an L after it, that's all. No L's to come. It's only 8 points. It's sorting the rack out. It's obstructing E, taking out R and obstructing E as a bingo floater. The opponent wants to place an H under the A. That's opening access to triple word squares. So there's quite a lot to like about that. However, can I do better? Do I have anything to go in front of OK? I don't. Well, there's still a blank, so there's no point in playing words which only have one hook, because the blank could be used as that. I could play airy. Let me count the remaining vowels. 10 out of 19, so a more balanced bag than before, but a lot of those vowels are O's and U's, which aren't much fun. Just 2 A's and 1 E to come, so I shouldn't be too cavalier in dispensing with the ones that I have. Is Ari the play? 2 minutes on my clock. Okay, that's not much. I really wanted to play parallel to Hustler, and not opening anything. So why don't I? I could play Gee here. 15 points. Yeah, and a decent rack leave. I am going with this. Oh, wow, look at this. I draw the blank and the C. You, the only fly in the ointment. Well, and the limited amount of time I've got, but opponent has been playing jolly quickly. Hustler takes an S. Do I have a 7? If I do, there's a good chance it may play. Nothing's come to mind. And if opponent plays quick, I won't have much time. So let me use the time while opponent's thinking. Oh, that looks so close to something. Aculii doesn't take an S. Again, that looks close. Nuisance through an N. Edacious through a D. Acquiesce through a C and an E. Cakes. Oh, doesn't fit there, but it does play in column 13. Sick and T. Wow, opening a triple. Interesting. And opponent's played 2 minutes on my clock. Do I play cakes? I lead by 160. Q's the only scoring tile to come, and that can't be doubled. Only 2 minutes, so let me see if I can find an alternative bingo which doesn't open a triple lane. Saucier and Uricaze. Saucier and Beaks. Fantastic. Okay, that works out nicely. Opponent may get a bingo tripled, but it's not a triple. 1 minute on my clock. Let me just finish this exercise. Acuities through an I. Yeah. Okay, so let me get Saucier down for 71. Wow, and I do draw the Q. Opponent not bingoing. Would they have bingoed after cakes? I don't think so. So I've got qua through this U. And this QI onto the I of witty, so I'm not stuck with the Q. Cakes would have scored a lot more because the play would have been doubled. Well, maybe not a huge amount more because I'm getting the points for B and K. The Q looks like it would score well with cakes, but of course it would have a score of 0 because it would be the blank. 14 minutes on opponent's clock, 1 on mine. My priority is to play the Q. I don't have an I. I don't have a U. Let me consider the U's on the board. This is the qua spot. This U's unavailable. Where's the final U? Okay, so there's only this U of Saucier. What about I spots? Just the I of witty. Now, opponents played No eye spot that works. 1 minute on my clock. Just 00 left. Opponent is going out. So is there absolutely nowhere else for the queue? I don't think so. So let me play this. And opponent goes out. And the final score, 319 for opponent, 524 for me, a winning margin of 205 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a fabulous game. And what a contrast to the previous 2 games. So it was opponent to go first, and they open with Van Men. And here we go, franchise for 113, and that was the only bingo. Playable in 3 spots. Opponent plays Coxib. And I have Weed for 44, and it's a drop of 10 points to the next option. And the first option, which plays off V and W, is Vorted for 26, a drop of 18 points. So I like my play. Opponent already suffering from a vowel shortage, but gets a decent score with Baft. Unvital C3, that's nice. Through the A of franchised. What do I do? Oh, this is my Ulva spot. Yeah, I did. Well, I put it down on the board 3 times before committing to it. And this is the reason there was a much better play, Unvital for 24. Now, as you can see, opponent is struggling with vowels. They played Jump for 50 points. Good grief. Ah, not here, though. They only get 34, but A4. Ah, they could have burnt the S and played Jumps for 50. Wow. So, Ulva massively suboptimal. But look at this. Ulva has given me Identify, and that's just the way the Scrabble gods roll. You can make a suboptimal play and then be rewarded for your incompetence with a bingo on the very next turn. Now, no vowels at all for opponent. They play Grip. I thought about a Boller, I thought about a Boller, which also takes an E, and went with Ali for 27. I think Ali is a better play. Horrible rack for opponent. They play a Warn. And I have Rue for 22. Good grief. Opponent is really suffering with consonants. They played Trest for 27. And now this really seals the deal. I've got Hustler and Hurtles in various spots. And Hustler for, well, I played it for 79. I could have played it with a Warns for 4 more points, but at the expense of putting an E next to this double letter square. Now, opponents' fortunes have improved, but no bingo. So they play Axel. I have a decent lead and good scoring tiles. So I play Witty for 38, keeping A-double-E. J2, well, I could have played Wait, but that takes D, R, and S. Playable in row O, so I quite like making a play with no hooks. And Wetty opens a triple lane, as does Yeti, plus retaining 1 of W and Y. So I do like Witty, despite the potential for vowel swamping. Opponent's rack. Missed bingo. Ganoin, C9. And Ubaft. Wow, that is a hook I overlooked throughout the game. And it looks like opponent may have overlooked it as well. My rack, so I would have had, this is a spot I could have played K-A-I-E. A12. K-ing playable for 32, and K not particularly dangerous in terms of triples, or indeed any bingos. A6. Aki. Okay, what do? I play Beak for 26. Yeah, I think my play's fine. Now, opponent's rack. No bingo. They play No. And this is a rack I spent a long time on. And as you can see, look at the scores. They're all pretty dismal. They all leave you thinking there's probably a better play. So I play Gi for 15, keeping AEIS, and I think that compares very favourably with the other options. Opponent plays O, and now what do we got here? Cakes is what I saw for 83. Yep, opening a triple lane. Cesium has the same demerit, but Allspice, N9, also opens a triple lane. Cesium doesn't. Cesium's quite nice, 81 points. It does take an S. And what do? I play Saucier for 71. Yep, only a 12-point sacrifice, and it completely removes the triple threat. Opponent plays Airing. Well, I think these... Well, there wasn't really time to consider whether retaining the queue would have been worthwhile, because I'm not going to be stuck with it. If I play, well, I am going to be left with it on my rack, because opponent's going out with double O. Well, although Quar doesn't appear, I think Quar is best here. Q on my rack is going to be 20 points to opponent, and there's only a 20-point difference between this and Dosed. Now, finally, opponent goes out with Oo for 11, and that is the end of the game. And wow, well, I wouldn't say this is back to normality, but this does feel a bit more of a normal game in the sense that I did actually get to play a bingo, and delighted to actually have one on my opening rack to break the tragedy of the previous two games where I didn't have a single bingo. But super fun, this game. Always fantastic to open with a 100-point bingo, and delighted to spot identify, which wasn't easy to see, and also seal the deal later on with Hustler. So many thanks to opponent for hanging around until the end and being a good opponent. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.